Personally, I'm not a fan of Air Canada. You know, they've caused problems after problems over the years.
10,000 Air Canada flight attendants will return back to work after reaching a tentative agreement with the airline early Tuesday. And here in Montreal, 2 class action lawsuits were filed on behalf of travelers impacted by the strike. Air Canada estimates that 500,000 customers were affected by flight cancellations during the strike, with the airline now saying that operations will gradually restart Tuesday evening, but could take up to 7 to 10 days to fully return to normal.
Although Air Canada knew of their obligations to book her within on the next available flight, Air Canada chose not to for business reasons, for financial reasons.
Lawyer Joey Zukran says the lead plaintiff of one of the proposed lawsuits was rebooked on a plane 86 hours after her flight to Grenada was cancelled. She was supposed to leave on Sunday, but wasn't rebooked until Wednesday. Zukran says this violates Canada's passenger protection rules, which say that an airline has up to 2 days to rebook travelers, either on its own planes or with a competitor.
The purpose of this class action is to effectively, obtain a refund for everybody who's out of pocket, who had no choice but to book their own travel back home. In other words, if you've done absolutely nothing, you will be automatically included in this class action.
The lawsuit also argues that Air Canada misled its customers by convincing them to accept refunds and saying that no flights were available even though seats on other airlines were. The lawsuit was filed on Monday by LPC Attorneys at Law and Reno Vathilakis Incorporated and has not yet been approved by a judge.
When you're Air Canada and you start your correspondence on a false and illegal pretext or declaration, everything else that follows that is tainted.
A second class action by Lambert Attorneys at Law was also filed Monday against Air Canada and the union representing its flight attendants. It claims that the union negatively affected Air Canada passengers by illegally continuing its strike. In a statement to City News, the union stated that Air Canada has obligations to its customers, and if they are not fulfilling them, Air Canada should be held accountable for this, not the union. We stand in solidarity with passengers whose rights are being violated just as ours were. City News reached out to Air Canada, who did not respond in time for deadline. If authorized by a judge, Zukran says that his firm's lawsuit would automatically cover passengers whose flights were disrupted. And for many passengers at Montreal's Trudeau Airport scrambling to get a hold of a flight, it's a situation that feels all too familiar.
I had a flight yesterday, actually, and it got canceled, and then they said that they'd try finding flights for me, and they didn't, so I had to go find one myself.
Canada's air passenger protection rules also require airlines to provide accommodations when travelers are stranded overnight.
I asked for a hotel, they said no, so I've just basically been stranded here.
In Montreal, Zachary Cheung, City News.